The Africa SME Champions Forum held in Nairobi this week brought together close to 300 fast-growing small and medium enterprises across the continent. The two-day event focused on assisting SMEs meet potential investors as well as building their capacities. CNBC Africa was at the event and compiled the following report.
The two-day Africa SME Champions Forum brought together African minds to discuss ways of helping SMEs meet potential investors as well as build their capacities. The event also highlighted the importance of SMEs to African economies.
SMEs are, if you will, the backbone of the African economy. They're the ones that sustain it and grow it. In a country like Kenya, something like 45% of the GDP, or in South Africa, almost 50% of the GDP is generated by SMEs. So SMEs are the ones that create the jobs, employ the people, do the business and create wealth. So their role in African societies is paramount.
SMEs are extremely important for the African economies because they make up 90% of the companies in our landscape. And they provide the vast majority of jobs. And as you know, jobs is a very important agenda for all of us in Africa. So for us, if we know that an event like this that is aimed at supporting SMEs and allowing people who are in this space to exchange thoughts and ideas that would enable us to better support SMEs, it is critically important for us.
The forum put together speaking, training and panel sessions aimed at equipping entrepreneurs and engaging both governments and financial institutions.
We need also to give more capacity to SMEs, like those one who are in the formal sector, they move into the formal sector, but with some benefits. Otherwise, why should I move from informal to formal if it's just a way for the tax people to come after me and again hit me so hard that my business could disappear? So I think the ecosystem is not right, actually, and we don't have the right ecosystem and tools to make sure we understand what is an SME and what needs to be done. So this is the kind of platform, the Africa SME Champions Forum, where we want to discuss those kind of issues, and based on those kind of recommendations, take them to the government, take them to the banks, to the multilateral institutions to make sure we bring the right solutions to SMEs.
Discussions around SMEs touched on their lack of knowledge on how to position themselves for investment.
What is your opportunity to invest? Then you have to show them that you represent a good return on investment. That's an opportunity. And the opportunity, because you are a business that is interesting, they should invest in that business, or you're in a very interesting sector. The second question is a return on investment. You have to show to them that if you invest in my business, you'll have a strong return. So if you need to choose between investing in my business and investing in another business, I will suggest, or I will encourage you to invest in my business because your return on investment will be higher than another business. And the third question is the risk of losing my capital as an investor. So you have to be able to show to that investor that you actually master the risks that you may represent for its capital.
While SMEs have a role to play in attracting investment, financial institutions need to improve SME access to credit.
Bankers are bankers. Wherever you find them, they're very conservative. If they're looking for answers and they don't find those, in many cases, they are unable to assess a risk, and they don't know enough about something, and then they decide it's a no. If they know more, it gets closer to the yes. So if you have a credit bureau that provides you with the infrastructure that enables the banker to assess the risk of a particular individual SME, it makes it easier to finance them.
The delegates also noted that both governments and the enterprises need to work towards improving the access to markets.
You may have the best product, but if you are not out there telling everyone about your product, and people are not coming and looking at your product, then you have a product and no market. So this is something that they need to do. On the demand side, this is what you call the supply side. On the demand side, there are some constraints. Namely, some markets have barriers. It's called barrier to entry. meaning these are monopoly markets and they are protected and there's collusion and what have you. So government has a role to break these kind of barriers and level the playing field. Once the playing field is level, then I think SMEs have the capacity to produce the kind of product that can compete in the marketplace.
A recurring theme at the forum was that SMEs are strategically positioned to negotiate for a business environment that can guarantee their success.
SMEs have to organize themselves in a way that they can actually have a voice to discuss with this policy making and be part of the policy making process in regard to policy that actually regulate their sector. And that's very important. So the responsibility cannot be only on others. And once SMEs starting to take responsibility and say, we have to play our role in order to be able to be seen as people who can absorb what we're asking, then you see that the environment will be completely different.
They have the capacity to be able to do things for themselves. This is where training comes in. In our case, for example, at IFC, we have the SME Toolkit, we have Business Edge. These are all management tools that enable the SME to better understand their business, to better manage their business, to be able to look for customers where they should, to be able to be ready to go and look for funding.